Hello and welcome to another episode of the Make More Placements podcast. You're listening to Drew Edwards and Terry Edwards. Terry, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you, Drew. How are you, buddy?
I'm very good, thank you. Listen, if you're listening to this on Facebook, make sure you drop a comment, let us know what you think. If you're listening on iTunes, YouTube, or wherever, remember to subscribe and again, share it with anyone you know who you think could benefit. Today, we want to be talking about the thing that needs to be destroyed if you want to grow your recruitment or search business. So the thing that needs to be destroyed if you want to grow your recruitment or search business. So between me and Terry and as a business in general, we constantly get messages or phone calls or emails from recruitment and search business owners who want to grow their business. They want help with their marketing, with their sales, with their delivery, to make things work better. And a question that we always ask, when we're speaking to these people is, are you prepared to do things differently? Are you prepared to change what you're currently doing? And often the answer is yes. But what happens is, and I noticed it with people that come into our programs and people who we communicate with and speak to, just in the recruitment industry in general, although it's very easy to say that you'll do things differently, but people often aren't prepared to change who they are, to change their map of the world, their identity, right? So I think, what we want to talk about is that when it comes to growing your business, when it comes to improving the results, when it comes to increasing your profit and your revenue, are you prepared to let go of your current identity? Are you prepared to let go of who you currently are? Terry, anything you'd add to that?
Yeah, every single recruitment to search business owner we speak to have three main challenges. It's around time, team, or money. They will often complain they don't have enough time. They will often talk about the challenges they're having with their team, and they will often talk about money. And it will be often it's around lack of sales, and it's not unique to recruitment. It's applicable to any business owner. That's where the challenges are. And as Drew said, it's worth considering if whatever you're doing now isn't giving you the results that you want. So if what you're doing now isn't, you've got lack of time, you've got underperforming team, or you haven't got enough sales coming in, clearly you need to do things differently. But this is the bit that we find interesting. So the recruitment search business owner talks about the challenges they have around time, team, or money. And we share with them some things they can do to solve those problems around time, team, and money. And I think the most common statement is, yeah, but. So example, I'm trying to think. I want to increase my sales. Well, I guess you're going to have to increase your marketing. Yeah, but. And they will then argue as to why they can't do what they need to do. I've never done marketing before. Marketing doesn't work. Or, yeah, but my market's different. So I'm not sure if that's applicable. But clearly what they're doing right now isn't working. And see, if you're in a situation right now where you're not happy with around those three challenges, you've got challenges around those three areas, time, team, and money, you're going to have to do things differently. And look, honestly, you're probably going to have to step outside your comfort zone, because that's what a lot of it's about. It's like, hell, I've got to do something that maybe I haven't done before. I'm a little bit uncomfortable doing. Yeah, well, yeah. But it's only until you step outside your comfort zone, it's going to take you closer to getting the results that you want. Because if you clearly, I keep repeating this, but if you keep doing what you're doing now, you're going to kind of get the same results that you're getting now. Does that make sense, Drew?
Yeah, because I think, ultimately what you find with a lot of recruitment and search business owners who want to grow their business, they're more attached to the how, the how they do it than they are to the what and the why, right? So the what might be, whatever your goal is, £1 million turnover, 10 million turnover, doesn't really matter, right? That's the what. The why might be, I want more freedom. I want to provide a certain lifestyle for my family. I want, do this for my kids, right? That's the why. And then the how is, I guess what they're currently doing, how they're currently operating. And what I find is that people are so attached to the how that they're almost not prepared to let go of it to get the what. A few examples: you speak to a recruitment search business owner working in a particular market, and you say, "Look, if you want to get to this number, you might have to move market, or you might have to change the level you recruit at," and they don't want to do it. Right? They can see that charging more or working at a high level will get them better results, but again, they're so attached to the how they don't want to do it. They want to get what they want, whilst also staying in their comfort zone and what they're comfortable with. But again, as Terry said, if you're not getting the results you want, you have to change. You have to be willing to destroy your current identity, your current ideas, beliefs, preconceptions about the way you do things, and that could come down to the market you operate in. You know, you may need to change that. So, are you willing to change the market you operate in? Are you willing to change the level that you recruit at? Are you willing to change the fee that you charge? Now, are you willing to let go of that? Are you willing to let go of your payment structure and terms? Are you willing to let go of the way you sell, the way you market and promote your business, the way you employ and manage your team, right? Because if it's not working for you at the moment, we can't get to we can't get to that big goal without destroying some of those things, right? The analogy that we often use is like, you can't build your dream home without knocking down the walls of the current building, right? You have to demolish before we can build. And I think, although it's scary, because it almost feels like you're starting from scratch a lot of the time. You know, if you have to go into if you've operated in a particular market for 10, 20 years, for example, you're comfortable there. Moving into this new market almost feels like you're starting from scratch, and it feels like your first day again, right? Or you've been charging a certain fee and you're comfortable there. Moving up the food chain and charging a higher fee, again, it feels like you're starting from scratch. But it comes down to you have to be willing to do that. You have to be if it's a challenging goal that you want, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And I think the truth is, although people like to say they are on the surface, it takes a certain type of person to sort of be really honest with themselves and realize that currently they're not. And again, we've been there ourselves where, we've spoke with mentors and coaches and they've said, look, if you want to get to this goal, this is what you need to change. And we've been like, well, look, we like doing it this way. And we've given pushback ourselves. So I can get it from both sides, but ultimately you will never grow. You will never get the goal you want unless you're willing to let go of your current identity. Terry, anything to add to that?
Yeah, it reminds me of a telephone meeting I had about 6 weeks ago with a recruiter in Germany who recruits within the retail sector. To put this into context, he recruits within the retail sector. He's averaging about €200,000 a year, every single year. And he jumped on the call with me and he said, one of the reasons I'm on this call with you, Terry, is because I'm looking to double my sales over the next 12 months. And he wants now to build a team. But we've got some challenges there. The market that he operates in within retail sector, because of what's going on worldwide, through no fault of his, is in a pretty poor place right now. The level that he recruited at, his average salary was €60,000. His average fee, I believe it was something like 14%. And he only worked on contingency. So almost everything that he was doing right there, it was unlikely that he's going to be able to double his income over the next 12 months. And I asked him the question, if you continue to do what you're doing now, what are the chances of you getting to where you want to get to and doubling your sales? He said, out of 10, probably 1 or 2 out of 10. So I talked to him about look at the market that he operates in, because I think most people would say would agree that retail right now isn't the best of sectors to be in, through no fault of any recruiter that's in that sector. One of the easiest ways of doubling your sales is if you to move further up the food chain, so to speak, or to recruit at the more senior level. So what I was encouraging him to do is perhaps start recruiting 100,000, and start also, rather than I think it was 14%. Look at charging 22%, 22 to 28%. Now, here's what's interesting. Everything I suggested, he objected to. We then talked about, rather than working on contingency, maybe he'd like to consider working on the retained basis. And he argued against every single one of those. And as I asked him, well, if you keep doing what you're doing now, what are the chances of getting where you want to get to? And he said, well, it's pretty slim. He said, but this is all I know. And I want to be clear about this. We understand that. It may be all that you know. And that's why you're where you are now. And for you to get to the next level, you're going to have to kind of do things that you don't know about right now. That's all it is. You don't know about it yet. And what we can do, we can show you how to operate in a different market. We can share with you how to operate at a more senior level. We can share with you how to get higher fees. And I get that you don't know it yet. And, fortunately for him, he's willing to have that conversation, and he's on his way to achieving that. But the shift came in his thinking. where he said, I get that I don't know it yet, but that's what I need to discover before I get to where I want to get to. Does that make sense, Drew?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense. And, it reminds me of so many conversations I've had this year, especially. It seems like more so where, you know, obviously with the impact of the pandemic on certain markets, where you're speaking to people and their market has stopped completely. And, you know, you're 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, still no activity. And it's like, well, why don't you change markets? Well, I don't want to change markets. All right. And now you're seeing some of those business people go out of business. Not because they're bad recruiters, not because no one's recruiting, because people are recruiting, that's for certain. They might not be recruiting in your market, in your sector, but no one's forcing you to operate in that sector. You can move. Even, again, speaking to a client yesterday, you know, saying the UK market's a bit slow in his particular sector. Okay, why don't you one, either change sector, or two, start operating outside the UK? And again, it was sort of, I mean, he's sort of going to do it, but it's sort of, you need to realize that you're not trapped in whatever your identity is now. You're not trapped there. Let's take it for what it is. Let's say that your market is in a particular way, right? Often it's not the market, it's the mindset. But let's say that no one in your market is recruiting at a particular time, or no one in your market works on retained and you want to go retained, or no one in your market works at a particular fee. No one's forcing you to work in that market. Right. So if you want to grow your business, are you willing to let go of that? Are you willing to stop drop your current identity and move into a different market, a different sector, work at a higher level, work for a different fee? And sometimes you don't have to, but you need to be willing to, I think. You know, you need to be willing to knock down the walls, destroy who you are currently.
Absolutely.
Anything to add to that?
No, nothing to add. That's spot on.
Awesome. So that's all for today. Look, if you sort of want help growing your recruitment or search business, you go to www.makemoreplacements.com/apply. There's a short letter there about what we do and how we might be able to help. That's makemoreplacements.com/apply. We will speak with you again soon. Until then, take care, take action, and be relentless.
Cheers, folks.